Hello students, welcome to Eshwari Thaniksha channel. Students, in this video we are going to see the mind map for the chapter acids, bases and salts. So for the first chapter I have already uploaded. So if you have not watched, you can go to the playlist and watch the video. Students, you can see here the entire chapter of acids, bases and salts. So all the equations and all the important points I have written in 2 sheets of paper. So if you have this 2 sheets of paper, the entire chapter you can quickly revise. So this will be very helpful for you during examination. So for your examination, that is Karnataka SSLC board examination, only 10 days of time you have. So for quick revision, at least 3 to 4 times you have to revise before going to the examination. So keep this sheets with you so that quickly you can revise as many times as possible. So if you need the PDF of this, so write in the comment section. I'll provide you the PDF so you can prepare well for your examination and score full marks in science. So let us see. So acid, bases and salts. So first you should know what is acid, what is base and what are salts. So with the definition and some of the examples I have given here. So acid meaning is it should have hydronium ion. Example HCl, H2SO4, HNO3. Bases meaning is it will be having OH minus ion. So it will react with hydronium ion and it will form salt and water. Some examples I have given: sodium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, aluminium hydroxide. And salt, you know that salt always is formed by replacement of ionizable hydrogen atoms of acid by metallic ion. So example is sodium sulfate, sodium chloride and sodium carbonate. And coming to indicators, indicators are one of the important topic. So one question can come from this indicators. So indicators are used to know whether the given substance is acidic in nature, basic in nature or neutral in nature. So you have 3 kinds of indicator: natural indicator, synthetic indicator and olfactory indicator. So under natural indicator you should know about litmus and turmeric. So here acid, you know that it will turn blue litmus to red. So trick also I have written, you can see here. So what is the trick? Remember A, B. Alphabet after A, what will come? B. That is acid will turn blue. So you have only 2 colors of litmus paper. One is blue color and one is red color. So if you know this AB, acid will turn blue litmus to red color. And for the base, remember BR is the trick. That is base will turn red litmus to blue. So here the color also I have given. So turmeric, if you see, turmeric is yellow in color. So if you put acid into turmeric, so what will happen is the yellow color will remain the same. Whereas in bases, you can see it will turn, yellow will turn to red color. Coming to synthetic indicator, you have phenolphthalein and methyl orange. So phenolphthalein is colorless. So in acid, it remains the same, colorless. Whereas in base, it will turn into pink color. Methyl orange, it will be orange in color. So in acid, it will show red color and in base, it will be yellow in color. And third is olfactory indicator. You have 3. That is onion, vanilla and cloves. So in acid, it will retain the smell. So the smell, whatever you have, it will be retained. Whereas in base, the smell will be lost. And coming to chemical reactions, so it is one of the very important question. The questions can come from the reactions. So acid with metal. So here one thing what you have to remember is when acid reacts with the metals, hydrogen gas is liberated. Same way when bases react with metal, hydrogen gas will be liberated. Remember this. So when hydrogen gas is liberated, when acids as well as bases, when they are reacting with metal, hydrogen gas is liberated. And coming to second one, acids when they are reacting with metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonate, you can see carbon dioxide gas is liberated. So when this carbon dioxide gas which is liberated is passed through lime water, what you will get? You will get white precipitate. So this you should remember. When excess of carbon dioxide is passed, then calcium bicarbonate is formed, which is soluble in water. That is, white precipitate will dissolve in water. Then coming to, there are two more carbonate. So that is lead carbonate and calcium carbonate. So they will react with acid. The question will be asked whether they will react with acid. So the answer is no. No reaction will take place. Why? Because the salt formed is insoluble. If insoluble salt is formed, then the reaction will not take place. So remember this, lead carbonate and calcium carbonate will not react with acid because the salt formed is insoluble in nature. Next is acids with metal oxide. So metal oxides are basic in nature. So that is why it is reacting with acid. So whenever acid react with the base, salt and water will be formed. Same way, base will react with non-metallic oxide. Here metallic oxide and here it is non-metallic oxide. So here non-metallic oxide is carbon dioxide. It is an acid. So acid is reacting with base to form salt and water. So next reaction is acids and bases with water. So when they react with water, what will happen? You can see HCl in water will break to form H plus ion and Cl minus ion. So whenever acid, if you are putting into water, it will produce H plus ion. So that H plus ion will combine with water and it will form hydronium ion. That is H3O plus ion is called as hydronium ion. And then base. So base in water will produce OH minus ion. So write on the arrow water. So in the presence of water, they will produce OH minus ion, which is called as hydroxide ion. Next up, so bases, if it is soluble in water, it is called as alkali. Example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. Remember the name as well. Caustic soda, caustic potassium, slaked lime. So if bases are insoluble, if they are insoluble in water, so for that example you have to remember FeOH thrice and CuOH twice. So these two are insoluble in water. So coming to strength of acid and bases. Strong acid, weak acid. So strong acid meaning is it ionizes completely in water and it will produce more concentration of H plus ions. Whereas weak acid, it will only partially ionize in water and it will produce less concentration of H plus ions. Remember the examples, HCl, sulfuric acid, and for the weak acid, acetic acid and H2CO3. Strong alkali and weak alkali. So again alkali, here you can see strong alkali means it ionizes completely in water and it will produce more concentration of OH minus ion. Here acid H plus ion, alkali will produce OH minus ion. Example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. So weak alkali, they will partially ionize in water and they will produce less concentration of OH minus ions. Example, ammonium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. So next is about the pH scale. So pH meaning is power of hydrogen. So why this pH scale is used? To find out whether the given acid is strong acid or weak acid, or whether it is strong base or weak base. You can find using this pH scale. So the reading will be from 0 to 14. If the reading is 7, then it is neutral in nature. So 0 to 6.9 will be acidic in nature. 7.1 to 14, it will be basic in nature. And then whenever you mix strong acid with the strong base, what kind of salt you will get? You will get neutral salt. Strong and strong, if you mix, it will be neutral. Whereas strong acid, if you mix with weak base, what will happen? You will get a salt. What kind of salt you will get? Whichever is strong. Which is strong here? Acid is strong. Therefore, it becomes acidic salt. So here weak acid with strong base. So it will also form salt. What kind of salt? You can see here what is strong here. Base is strong. So when base is strong, it forms a basic salt. And then importance of pH in everyday life. So in human beings, you know that the pH should be in the range of 7 to 7.8. Yeah, the rainwater, if the pH is less than 5.6, it is called as rainwater. And in the agriculture, you can see for the rice, the soil should be slightly acidic in nature. For sugar cane, it should be neutral soil, and for citrus fruits, it should be alkaline soil. And then coming to bee sting. So bee sting is nothing but acid. Methanoic acid will be released in our body. So then what you have to do is you can use a mild base like baking soda can be used. Then digestive system. So you know that in the stomach HCl will be produced. So HCl, if it is excess, what will happen is it causes pain and irritation in the stomach. So at that time you can use antacid. So what is antacid? Antacid is nothing but magnesium hydroxide. It is a mild base. So therefore, if you use this base, it will neutralize the acid, which is HCl. Then tooth decay. If the pH is less than 5.5, then tooth decay will happen. So and then tooth enamel is made up of. This point you have to make a note. So this can be asked for 1 mark. Calcium hydroxyapatite. So why we are using toothpaste is to neutralize excess of acid. So toothpaste will be basic in nature. If acid is present, it will neutralize the acid. So let us learn the preparation of sodium hydroxide. So you have to take brine and pass electric current. So brine is nothing but sodium chloride dissolved in water is called as brine. So you will get sodium hydroxide along with the liberation of 2 gases will be liberated. So which are those 2 gases? Chlorine gas and hydrogen gas is liberated. So you should know where they are liberated, at the cathode and anode. So at the anode you can see chlorine gas is liberated, and at the cathode you can see hydrogen gas will be liberated. So learn the use of sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. So second, bleaching powder. So bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. So take slake lime and pass chlorine gas. You can see calcium oxychloride is formed, and learn 2 uses of bleaching powder. So third is baking soda. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. So take sodium chloride and then pass carbon dioxide and ammonia. You will be getting ammonium chloride and sodium bicarbonate, which is insoluble form. So learn uses of baking soda. And then baking powder. So baking powder is nothing but baking soda along with tartaric acid is called as baking powder. So you can see carbon dioxide gas which is liberated, it makes cake and bread soft and spongy. So learn this from baking powder. So next is washing soda. So washing soda is sodium carbonate 10 times water. Learn uses of washing soda. Next important point here is water of crystallization. So water of crystallization is nothing but the fixed number of water molecules which is present in salt. Example, if you see in copper sulfate, 5 water molecule will be present. And in washing soda, 10 water molecule is present. And in gypsum, 2 water molecule will be present. This is 2 water, 2 H2O will be present. And then plaster of Paris. So plaster of Paris, the formula will be calcium sulfate half time water. So when calcium sulfate half time water, that is plaster of Paris, when you are mixing with water, it becomes gypsum. So gypsum formula is calcium sulfate 2 times water molecule. So this is about the second chapter, acid, bases and salt. So students, if you are finding the video helpful, please share this video with your friends and also subscribe the channel. I'll meet you in the next video, students. Prepare well for your examination and score full marks in your board examination. All the very best.